And welcome everyone to week number 2, I believe, of the Dominate. Week 4, I can't count apparently, of the Dominate Premade Open Division. I am Primus alongside Tame, bringing you this best of 3 between the side of C10 and TGM. Tame, how we doing today?
I'm not doing my best. I'm a little nasal, but I'm excited to be here. We're getting right into the pick bands. It looks like we're targeting out some comfort picks. We had been told that TGM clapped C10 in the opening week this season. So I'm thinking C10 is going to be hungry for some vengeance. You know, both of these teams are long-standing Risen community members, so good rivalry going on here. Hopefully we get some good games.
Or we can just see the clapping too happen. That's always a possibility. You know, we can't discount everything from happening.
No, we can't. But we're seeing some first picks coming out. Swain as a first pick. That's not something I'm used to in the current meta. It feels like last year, 2018, was kind of the year of Swain. Whereas TGM so far going with the more safe picks. Gragas, even with his little love tap nerf in 919, still very good. Caitlyn, I'm not sure if anybody's been following, but a lot of the boot camping ADCs have been spamming Caitlyn. So I think she's in a pretty good space right now. So a strong opening pick from TGM.
It's primarily because all the other AD carries that have been meta for the longest time have all gotten nerfed. So Caitlyn's at the point where she can win lane against most of them. And in terms of the Swain first pick, I think it's either A, because it's a massive comfort pick for one of their players, or it's because it's a flex option, because I have heard many a rumor about Swain's support percolating in high elo. So that is something that we should keep in mind as a potential possibility, though it would be really weird to be pairing with an Ezreal bot lane to run Swain.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the stats from the players here. I don't notice any Swain comfort out of C10, but I always call them Sway 10, Sweet 10. I guess this. But anyway, it looks like it may be going. It's either going mid or support at this point because I don't know. Kled mid has been given a rise lately too. The meta is weird. Riot said that they didn't want to shake it up too much for Worlds, but 918 919 actually really did shake it up, and I was actually gonna comment. The champions like Karma and Ezreal are kind of dead, and then they locked Karma as soon as I said that, or was thinking to say that. So
well, Karma's not really dead per se. It's more of the fact that she is a lot more reliant upon the rest of her team to make up the damage now, because that's true. That's what the nerf really did. It did not hurt her utility or lane control or anything like that. It just really made so you really do need a true second carry on the team. You can't rely on the Karma. I know I was watching EU Masters this morning, and it actually got picked in mid lane by BIG, who I won't spoil anything for those who actually watch EU, but why would we ever do that? We're in a Kappa. But Kled mid, as you said, it has been rising in priority. Pretty much everyone's trying to jump on the doing D hype train, especially with Kled getting buffed, and hasn't really gotten nerfed since he last got buffed. So Riot apparently thinks he's a perfectly okay champion.
It looks like TGM definitely thinks that the Swain is going top here with all the nukes for support. You know, they're taking out the Thresh and the Blitz, so it doesn't seem like they're worried about being a support pick here on C10's side.
Yeah, generally, if you're going to be playing Swain support, you generally want an aggressive AD carry to pair with, and Ezreal really doesn't fit that build, at least in most levels of play, because most people don't play Ezreal to the full extent to get maximum out of him. So
only Teddy. We have one player in the world.
I would say Prey does fairly well on Ezreal too, but essentially, unless you're Teddy or Prey, don't play Ezreal.
Isn't Prey formally retired now? Beb?
No, he came back for the summer.
Oh, okay.
but I don't know if he's re-retired or not. But I know he did come back for the summer.
Oh, Mundo. C10's draft is almost incomprehensible at this point. Most of these champions could go just about anywhere.
Kled top, Mundo jungle, Swain mid, Ezreal AD carry, and their support pick will be last. That is my guess.
I think you're right. Honestly, I wouldn't argue against that. And then it'll be interesting. Ooh.
No, it is actually going to be Swain support. Interesting. Don't understand why you would pair that with Ezreal though.
Orianna actually did just get a nice chunky buff to her ult in 919. I mean, if you can throw the ball onto Kled or Mundo or even Swain, that's a huge vacuum coming out. That like the shockwave that you can pull off with that now is massive. And Fiora as well from the side of TGM, and then Silas coming out as the final flex pick here. Interesting drafts from both sides. Honestly, C10 was a little spicier, but I think TGM has a little bit more of a coordinated and more meta-oriented draft. I think if they pull it off, they have better control around objectives with the Caitlyn traps and the Karma zoning. They have the split push with Fiora, utility of Silas. C10, they definitely have some good wombo with the Orianna, the Mundo, the Kled. They have the good poke with the Ezreal. They have the pick potential with the Swain. Still going to give the edge to TGM in game one in terms of draft. What do you think?
I would have to agree. However, my only counterpoint is that TGM's comps requires a lot more finesse in order to operate than C10's draft. C10's draft is you hit 2 items on everyone,
death ball,
and you run it down the enemy team's throat. So it's a pretty straightforward composition in order to execute.
So you're saying we're playing NA RAM?
I mean, we're in NA. We pretty much have to live up to the meme, right? Like, is there any other way to play League of Legends in North America? I don't believe so.
Picks to watch for me here, honestly. I'm very interested in seeing Peach Buzz's Fiora, especially with the buffs letting Q hit towers in 919. I'm also super interested in seeing Potato Ari play the Orianna that has received substantial buffs in 919 as well. Other than that, the Sylas Orianna matchup is going to be very difficult for the Sylas in the early game. Orianna can zone off pretty well, but it's also kind of disgusting to think of Sylas using Orianna's Shockwave against her too. Woo!
Yeah, but who he doesn't really have anyone he wants to Shockwave on the enemy team because he's not going to get to Ezreal. He's not going to get to Orianna, and everyone else is just this big damage-soaking meatball.
I mean, Mundo goes where he pleases, and if you Shockwave him to where he pleases...
I think Sylas with Mundo or Swain ulti is far more terrifying than Orianna ulti, at least with how the 2 team compositions are set up.
So here's a question before we go to a little break before we get in. What does Sylas look like when he uses Kled's ult? Does he generate a spirit raptor thing, or does he just run really fast?
It's this because if you actually watch Sylas when he uses enemy ultis, he actually turns into that champion when he initially casts the ultimate.
Okay, so we are gonna see.
It's only a frame or 2 that it lasts.
All right.
If you actually watch Sylas's champion model, he turns into the champion when he casts the ultimate.
Pretty cool stuff. Thanks for the insight. Looks like everybody's locked in. We will be back in just a few minutes after a delay here. Stick around.
And welcome back, everyone, to Dominate Premade week number 4. As I mentioned in the pregame, we have C10 taking on TGM. Let us give you a quick roster rundown between these two teams we'll be covering for you today. For the side of C10, we have Dragons, AK-47 in the top lane, Hector in the jungle, Potato Ari in the mid lane, the Unforgiven on AD carry, and his trusty support, Spanish teacher.
And bringing up the side of TGM, we have Peach Buzz in the top lane, Jackie Chan on his signature Gragas in the jungle, the Boat Kill, Silas in the mid lane, Solbert, and Detholi bringing up the Kate Karma bot lane that I would really not want to play against.
It's supreme and utter cancer.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was looking at that. I'm like, ugh. Like, especially as an Ezreal, I'm there like, nah, I'm good, bro. I can back off of this anytime. Looks like both teams are just going to get into 5 points here. Some mutual respect between both of them as we are awaiting the minions to come down the lane.
I mean, if you look at the two teams, neither has a great level 1. Like, if you said a team has a good level 1, it would be the side of TGM with the Silas Gragas. But if they started those abilities, be a little bit suboptimal. Nothing too untypical in terms of keystones. I do find it interesting that our Potato Ari has chosen to go with the Comet in the mid lane rather than the typical Aerie that we see on Oriana's.
I was gonna say, I'm not an Oriana main or anything, but I do play a fair bit of her, and I always felt that, you know, Aerie offered a great amount of utility with her shield and everything there. So yeah, it is a bit of an oddball.
Plus, how important auto attacking is in Oriana's trade pattern.
Yes. A lot of action out in the bot lane though. They're just sort of really wanting to fight right away early, taking advantage of that Karma Kate advantage that they're going to have this early. Oof.
As we are already feeling it. Just like, hello, tower friend. I'm ready to watch you for the next 10 minutes of the game. Because that's essentially how this lane's gonna play out, unless Hector looks to try to make a play down there. But considering this, there's virtually no setup down in that bottom lane. It's gonna be a pushing bot lane until someone comes down there to break it on the side of TGM.
Yeah, and I mean, really, you know, looks like we have a pause. Yeah, it appears to have a pause. But
should be very short though, according to chat.
Yeah. Mundo, like, coming into gank is usually, I mean, you think of Mundo more as like the late game unkillable Demon King powerhouse. Like, when he ganks, he just kind of walks in and throws a cleaver at you, and if he misses, he's like, well, I'm out. See you guys in half an hour.
Oh, but we do have a gank coming in the top lane. Flash being forced out early by Peach Buzz, as Dragon's AK-47 is going to be able to use the terrain to walk around, is able to get out. Little Skull Crab fighting on the top side as bot lane continues to not be a fun experience for the side of Unforgiven and Spanish teacher.
Yeah, I mean, if you look up there though, you see Mundo just egotistically still deciding to fight while he has basically no health, and he doesn't have his ult yet, so he doesn't have a whole lot of sustain. So early game, you know, we're already seeing a 5-point advantage. Oh,
misplay up in that top lane, and trading solo kills in the solo lanes, one going over to each side, and that is really concerning if you're the side of TGM, because this is a Fiora favored matchup. And for the Fiora to be getting solo killed in this matchup, Unforgiven's getting super chunked there. Not gonna die to the Ignite though. But Flash is gonna be forced, he's probably gonna be forced to TP back into lane, and he's not even gonna have enough for his tier yet.
the definite feels bad. Oh, top lane getting a little spicy.
Oh, he almost got the remount.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fiora getting the revenge there. of the traded back kill, but we already seeing TGM take an 1100 gold lead, which isn't, a lot, but at 440, that's a sizable lead.
A lot of that is due to the CS difference in the mid and bottom lane, with 14 CS in the mid lane and 19 CS in the bottom lane.
I'm actually really surprised to see Silas early having that much of an advantage over the Orianna in terms of farm.
I think a lot of that was due to the solo kill and the ability to get a wave crash into tower and to set up a slow push back into him. Because when we briefly panned over mid lane, you saw that the bot kill had a wave of like 7 or 8 caster minions. So that's my assumption, is he was able to get a good wave push, which led to him being able to set up a slow push. As we're going to see a little skirmish in the jungle, bot kill, flash being forced from Hector after the follow-up invade coming in from bot kill.
It's a good flash too, because if he didn't, he was utterly dead there, and it was actually a really good collapse out of the bot to follow his jungler so quickly. Potato Ari didn't even really have a chance to respond there before they had 2 on the two on the Mundo already.
Yeah, there really wasn't much left to the table once they had that mid lane priority. Like, that's one of the things as a jungler, which is always a big feels bad, is when you don't have mid lane priority and all of a sudden you have the enemy mid laner, the enemy support, and the enemy jungler all in your jungler, and you're just like, what do I do, guys? I don't know what's going on.
You question mark ping mid and then say open. That's my general experience in League of Legends, especially in 2019.
When in doubt, open mid.
Pretty much. So worth mentioning though is there is an Infernal as the first Drake, so I look for that to be contested here pretty soon, and with the priority that TGM has in the bot lane, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Essentially what it's going to have to be is the Blast Cone being up and Hector going in for a steal, because the bot lane of Forgiven and Spanish Teacher is not going to have a priority for this foreseeable future. As we are seeing a heavy trade in the top lane, both top laners sitting on a sitting on a fair bit of gold. Was that at an item disadvantage? We do have the Gragas hovering down in this bottom side, but doesn't have enough of a minion wave to set up a dive here. But we do see a gank coming in the top lane. But they do have the dragon. Dragon's AK-47 is going to be able to get the outlay and the remount. Double kill for Dragon. Oh, that's a feels bad. On the other side of the map, we did see Jackie Chan secure the kill onto the Unforgiven, but he is going to giving up
What a bloodbath!
So yeah, we went from a little action to 4 kills in less than 10 seconds.
Look at that bot lane turret though. I mean, it's only 7 minutes, and we're already going down to the last. Silbert and SPG down there are saying, this is our lane. They're like, why did you pick Swain? We're going to punish you for it over and over and over.
Hashtag Lane Kingdom.
Oh! Silver
That was just poor
statement.
life. Yeah, that was just poor life choices coming in from Spanish Teacher. Like, if Unforgiven was a little bit closer and could have contributed a full spell rotation, they probably kill Solbert there. But he wasn't in position yet. This Caitlyn's going to have essentially a completed Infinity Edge. Because she's
that tower's looking to go down around like 10 minutes.
Maybe not quite 10 minutes. It depends on how long it takes them to reshove out the wave. But essentially, within the next 2 to 3 minion waves of them getting the wave to the tower, that tower's going down.
So, what can C10 here do to stop that, if anything? Or do they just seed first tower?
You just seed first tower, try to make a play across the map, but we do have the Kled ultimate coming in onto Peach Fuzz. Oh, he
My friend, that is going down in history. That is going to be on your highlight reel for the rest of your life. It happened live, baby.
That is one of those situations where it's just hello darkness, my old friend. A little bit of good damage going in on the Soulbook, but Death Holy is here forcing the flash out of Forgiven, but the QR combo securing the kill. We were talking about the turret damage down to the bot lane, but there's the same amount of turret damage down the bot lane. We do have the Soul Shockwaves coming in into the mid lane on Potato Ari, who is going to trade Shockwaves, but he's not going to have the damage to get anything as Bod kills secures the kill in that mid lane, as everything outside of mid lane seems to be turning up for the side of C10 right now.
So this game's pace. You want to be Riv, but the game's forcing you to be quick shot right now.
Nothing to see there.
Oh.
Nice cast up in the top lane. Is going to get a disengage, but Aura is coming in with a lot of damage. We do have the TP coming in out of Potato Ari, as it looks like they're wanting to dive this, but without the shockwave available, I don't know if they have enough damage, as it's just going to be a waste of teleport coming in from Potato Ari.
Yeah, and Mundo isn't tanky enough before.
Oh, but here comes Bodkill. Is going to get the CC down on the Dragon. The Dragon is going to fall.
The collapses out of SPG are so clean. It feels like that Silas, the Bodkill, has been everywhere. And there he goes again! Man, this guy is worldwide on this Silas this game. Very impressive play, as he is 2-1. Not quite up there, you know, where you'd expect on CS, but he's making up for it in his pressure and priority everywhere he goes.
You could almost say that he had his Wheaties this morning.
Yes. I mean, would Silas eat Wheaties, or would he just like chews on magic rocks or something? Man, I'm so angry.
No, I still think he would eat normal food. He doesn't, like, you can't, even Silas can't sustain himself on magic.
Rocks and tears.
No, that's just Malphite.
Oh, there he is again! Big boy!
They are going to have a trade of ultimates, but unfortunately, Spanish teacher, you are a support Swain, not a mid lane Swain. You do not have the gold to survive there, as that's going to be another kill going over to Bodkin.
So would you, at this point, call the Swain pick a mistake? Because I don't mean to be mean, but I feel like it's a mistake.
You are not wrong, because they chose to pick an Ezreal with it. Like, Ezreal inherently, we do see the first tower going down on top lane, but it is traded for its life. I think if you are a Dragon's AK-47, you will say a hashtag worth, but he's pretty much the only bright spot right now on the map for the side of C10 at this point, as the bot lane and the mid lane are all TGF.
I mean, the Mundo is actually a little bit ahead on farm, and he's up a kill as well. He does have a completed jungle item, so it's not all bad. But we're talking, you know, an Infernal and about a 3,000 gold difference here in only 12 minutes. So if that spreads, you know, to like a 5k by 17 or so, then you're looking at some dirty times for Baron.
You do have Hector trying to run down Solberg, does have a lot of damage, but the body slam coming in from Jackie Chan. Flash Cash does not do enough damage.
Oh! Gotta be questioning the communication there. Not sure if he expected Potato Ari to be stepping up a little bit more or contributing a little bit more. Mundo with the 3v1. Not always the...
You are not late game Mundo yet.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, but we do have the Cloud Ultimate coming in from the flank. Jackie Chan is going to flash this up for his back line. He is going to get a lot of damage onto Jackie Chan, but he does have the stop one. Here comes Bodkill, though. Bodkill trying to do what he can, but it's all Peach Buzz diving in the back line, doing so much damage. Stopwatch is going to come in and save Spanish teacher, but the Q coming in from Death Holy is going to secure that kill, as that is just a team fight. Oh, that Q! Oh, the wall coming in. Huge. Unforgiven. Bodkill is being unforgivable to right now to the side of C10.
Dude need to change his name from Body Kill to Body Count, as he's just stacking up the kills all across the map. Roaming King over here this guy's gonna get like a bard song in his future or something. But you can't ignore the fact that the Kate has a bigger bounty from having a massive farm, hasn't died even once yet. The bot lane of SPG now is 6-0.
Yeah.
TGF. Wrong team, my bad.
Reported and benched for life now.
Benched for life. I mean, at least I'm not a support Swain.
This is
IRL.
true. This is quite true here.
So I was actually informed by like one of our community members that when you see the support Swain, you're likely to see it with stuff like Syndra. Apparently, you know that.
Mage bot lane.
Yeah, apparently landing like the snare with the Swain and then like the stun with the Syndra. I can see that. That makes a lot more sense to me than with the Ezreal, who almost needs like a babysitter support, like you'd want to see like a Yuumi or something on an Ezreal.
Well, you don't really need a babysitter support into Ezreal. It's just when you're dealing with such a heavy push lane, which is what Caitlyn Karma is, you need a support who can provide some semblance of push back and wave clear or all-in threat onto the Caitlyn Karma in order to balance it out. Because if you don't have the all-in threat or you don't have the ability to wave clear against a lane such as Caitlyn Karma, you just don't do anything.
Looks like they are going to pop the Herald here top right away as soon as they just took it.
Yeah, Jackie's going to eat a lot of damage. Should fall. Does not have the Zhonya's completed yet, but they do take the top lane tower for it. So they break all the outers on the side of TGM by about 15.5 minutes, which is a pretty good pace.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Gragas is spamming hashtag worth in all chat, right? Like, you almost have to be. Anywhere Bodkill goes, I'm scared. Like, he just popped in the lane there. I was like, wait, is he going to 2v1? Is he just going to go for it? He's like, nah, not yet.
Are you sure his name isn't actually Agent 47?
It could be. Like, what? He's in the top lane now, but watch, he'll just be in the bot lane like 5 seconds from now. It looks like we are seeing a gathering of members from C10 here in the top lane. Okay, looks like 4 members are going to be in the top lane, but the thing is, nope. I was going to say, are they going for something here or just a reset? There is going to be another Drake here coming up shortly, and it is another Infernal. With how far back that they are right now, I feel like if they don't contest or successfully get this Drake, it just snowballs into Baron and then the game.
But I mean, if you look at the item timings coming in across the board, you still don't have 2 items on Ori, you still don't have 2 items on Ezreal. You have 2 effective items on Kled. Like, I know Tiamat's only half an item, but like Cleaver and Tiamat's all you really need. Oh, Hector's not in a good spot. Here comes Bodkill, but we do see the Kled ultimate coming in on the other side of the map. A lot of burst damage going in onto Bodkill. Dragon's trying to 1v9 on the other side, doing so much damage. Shockwave coming in. Solar is going to be able to flash to get out and live on just a sliver of HP. Bodkill surviving so long with that Masochist and Solar ultimate. Hector has run out of the Sado Masochist, is getting flanked by Peaceful, does get the fight down onto the crab to get a little bit of HP, but throughout that entire fight, nobody died.
Much ado about nothing, as almost every ultimate and summoner in the game was like popped there ceremoniously for no real but it looks like TGM are in a better position here with the Drake with the healthy.
Oh, but Bodkill's trying to go in, is going to get the burst down with Jackie Chan as Bodkill screws
What? He can't be stopped!
Just when you think the fighting is over, TGM's just like, nah guys, I got this. They secure 3 kills after that very extended team fight in that mid lane, which nobody died. That should secure them their second Infernal, and if you're the side of C10, I have to ask whether or not you just look at the next game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to truly go next, but you have to be thinking about what went wrong here and how to fix it next game. Obviously, Swain Ezreal, early objective control. I would almost say, looking at the stats that I have here, I would almost say that you have to get rid of Solbert's Cape. You're talking a 300,000 mastery, high KDA, high win rate champion that's been picked in Risen before to great success.
I apologize for distracting you, but take a quick look at the Bodkill's inventory right now.
Oh, Lord.
Do you see an item there?
17 stack Soul Stealer with the extra added BF And it's funny that I mentioned that. Like, we had just seen him in the top lane at about 17 minutes, and by 17:40, he was getting, like, double kills at the Dragon, and he's all over the place.
It's almost as if he knows when a fight's going to happen and is able to set himself up to always be in the right place at the right time.
And speaking of that, his teleport's going to become available here in about 10 seconds. The next fight, I'd be looking for TGM here to really secure a fight. It's 19:30. We're going to be seeing, Baron coming up soon. I want them to, choke him out, take the Baron, and go for the clean finish here if you're TGM. That's got to be your plan.
Yeah, the Fiora actually going with an interesting build. Did not actually rush the sustain, went straight into Triforce, which I was kind of curious to see whether or not that would be standard in all matchups for Fiora, because with the Q and the working on towers, the Sheen procs on towers.
Look at the vision here too. Just to point out, like TGM, it's everywhere. Like C10's choked out of their own jungle when it comes to vision. It's absolutely massive amount and disparity that we're seeing.
Spanish team, where you want to be. Solbert securing it with the ace in the hole from downtown.
So now the question is, where is
Hector, what are you doing? But we do have the Clut ultimate coming in, trying to do what he can, but Hector just gets blown up immediately, but a nice shockwave is going to buy a little bit of time. Masochism is burning on both Vodkill and Hector, trying to sustain through, but he's not going to be able to, as the E auto attack is going to come through, as they're going to secure a bunch of shutdowns for the side. But Peach Fuzz is going to secure the bot lane tower, but do they give up Baron for it?
4 for 1. I think they take the Baron here. I think they can be back in this game if they take the Baron and play it smart. Losing that tier 2 in the bot lane, yeah, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Honestly, kind of wondering, can Swain even stop Fiora down there in the bot lane as they take the Baron here? Looks like they are going to divert the Kled, yeah.
Peach Fuzz and Vodkill both have TP available, and this Baron still has 3k health on it. And they are going to be forced away from the Baron.
Oh, tragedy.
Oh, Hector,
Why did it have to go? Oh, Vodkill!
Pay for his team sins.
You will pay for your hubris.
I just lost 10 stacks to my bench, guys. I have to start getting some more back.
I heard you were somewhere on the map. I wasn't. Be a shame if something had to change that.
Now, TGM is going to be the one to start up the Baron, and with the jungler being dead, unless everything comes up aces for the side of C10, I think this is close to the death knell for their hopes in this game.
Such a tragic call, though. Just losing that Baron, and it wasn't even really the map state, it was all of their health. Hector was one hit away.
I think they needed to keep... I think they needed to keep Klud there in order for them to finish Baron.
You're absolutely right. And
because I think the proper call would have been is just let Fiora do whatever she wants to do bot lane and just all in to get that Baron, because if you all in to get that Baron, they can't siege with their disgusting siege.
You're right.
Caitlyn, Karma, Gragas, Silas,
I just think the Baron has to be worth an inhibitor there, right? Because that's what it would have been. The Baron has to be worth an inhibitor because, when you're this far behind, the super minions do give great XP, they give great gold. It's almost like a way to get back in the game. Turtle with the Baron, see if you can poke out, maybe find an advantage, but, that's in the past, and hindsight is 2020, as we do see TGM knocking some stuff down in the mid lane, looking probably to end the game, if not take 2 inhibitors here.
Ideally, I would say if you're TGM right now, a minimum of a single inhib is your goal here. Yeah. Ideally, you take 2. But they are going with the 1-3-1 pressure, pressuring all points of the map. Top lane tier 2 is going to fall here in just a moment from Vodkill's pressure up in that top lane. And I do like that they are playing this 1-3-1 properly. They're not overextending in the mid lane, getting caught out. Their side lanes are being pressured at the same time, so they can't get a collapse on the side of C10. This is just a very, very clean macro play coming in from TGM right now.
Yeah, and with the gold advantage and the infernal advantage that they have, there's almost no way to answer. Oh! As Peach Fuzz almost one-shots the potato Ari there.
I bought a flash wound.
just keep up this pressure in the mid lane. And it looks like, the wave's coming in and bot. How do you stop that turret or the cannon minion there if you're Potato R? You really just don't. You can't risk coming out. You're dead if you do.
Yeah. Oh, but they are going to try to brute force. Nice double never move as Solar is going to get engaged on. He has no support. Is just going to get sold out by Dragon AK-47. Now they find the vulnerable. Nice little ultimate is from Jackie Chan. Here comes Bodkill. So much AoE damage coming out from the Silence Dragons combo. And that's just going to be the wipe coming in. Sword Oriana trying to do what he can, but it's not going to be enough as it's going to be an ace for TGM.
Looks like that will be the end of first game as Mr. Bodkill said, "Hey, you thought I was in top lane? How many times do I have to teach you this lesson? I am everywhere. I am Mr. World." A meme has been born from this very game here on Risen Esports, as we will see TGM take game one. I cannot foresee any sort of stoppage coming from Swain and Ezreal here. Oh! Am I wrong?
No, it's still really early in the game. The death timers aren't super long. The most they get out of that, if they extend for the push, would have been one Nexus tower, and that would have been at the cost of potentially 1 to 2 of them dying. It's better just to take the 100% play, which is getting the inhibitor, backing off, securing the Mountain Drake on the reset, and just keep Fiora sitting in the spot lane because nobody can deal with her.
That is true.
Especially now that Hydra's completed.
Do you think that with an 11,000 gold lead that they could have just bought them under their own towers and won? That's what I would... you just kind of re-kill the Swain Ezreal. But it looks like you're right though. They are taking...
Because they were missing a lot of crucial ultimates. They didn't have Gragas cast. They didn't have... Bombkill's ulti might have been available. I'm not entirely sure. But they didn't have Grand Challenge available as well. Like, they're missing a lot of crucial ultimates that make a massive difference because the Gragas cast is a really only hard disengage, and that's very important against the team composition that C10 have drafted.
That is true. The Kled is still a volatile force. He's actually pretty even with the Fiora. And when he does engage, like when he picked Solbert there was like a little glimmer of hope for them. Still don't see them winning the game, but I'm starting to see like your side of how you're saying that it's not just like an easy rollover. You do have to still exercise some caution in this.
Yeah, because you can't, because you have to understand, like you mentioned earlier, that super minions do provide a very large source of guaranteed income, which is why for those who watch LCK, why people like LS, right, massively advocate freezing in games because it denies people gold. Peach Fuzz going for a little bit of a trade here, but not gonna really amount to much of anything. They don't have Baron buff, so their siege is gonna be far worse because there is a lot of wave clear. They're trying to go down onto Peach Fuzz. There's a lot of damage down there. We do have Unforgiven rotating down, but they are gonna be able to disengage down the bot lane. So it's a 2v1 down in the bot side in trade of a 4v3 in the top side of the map.
Looks like, they are coming in with 3 members in the top lane with Vodkill right over Fiora being matched by the Kled down there. And I feel like that's bad for C10 because their strongest member is tied up. Like, it's really difficult for them to really do anything if they're so choked out down there. It looks like
they just have to make a decision to all engage.
Yeah, basically. And I mean,
they can't continue to play this stretch map game because they're just going to lose. Bombkill and Peach Fuzz are just going to secure the bot lane inhibitor. They have to pull the trigger now or they will lose the game. C10 is going to go in with the Kled ultimate. A lot of damage going down onto Delphily at the start of the fight. So much damage is as they do immediately kill the bot lane. But Peach
look at the base! Look at the base!
Are trying to take their base. Someone tried to live as long as he can. But the base is not yours any longer as TGM is going to secure the game going victory. Peach Fuzz and Vodkill doing it all by themselves.
Excellent use there of the Sylas and the Fiora there to split the way that they did. Massive props to them. Also props to C10 for, showing a few little glimmers of hope there when they did pick off Solbert with the Kled ult and everything there. If you're TGM moving into the second game, you got to be feeling good. Maybe ban out the Kled, keep the rest of your ban since they mostly were comfort pick. keep rolling on. If you're C10 here, I wouldn't pick the Swain support. Look for something that can push back a little bit in the bot lane. Any comments about that first game?
Yeah, I feel like they needed a little bit better setup in the bot lane. Like, I think Swain support can work. It's just you have to pair it with something which inherently has CC within its kit. Otherwise, like, Swain just doesn't do anything bot lane.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely right there. And I think that they can get back into it. It didn't look like they were like, completely outclassed position for position. It looked like more like they were outdrafted. So hopefully we can get, into another game. C10 will learn from their mistakes in the first game. And then we'll have a better second game here, maybe a closer one for you guys.
Yeah, we are going to take a short break before getting into game number 2 here, guys. We will see whether or not C10 will make this a series or if TGM is going to get another sweep. And welcome back, everyone, to game number 2 between C10 and TGM. Teams are swapping sides here after a dominant performance in game number 1 from TGM. I do have to ask, if you're C10, what is going to be your game plan for changing things up in game number 2?
Not playing Swain is a good place to
That
start.
seems like a good place to start.
I would almost say getting rid of the Karma is a great call. I was gonna say either the Kate or a Karma, so it shows that they are responding and learning by their draft. The Hecarim is obviously going to be a comfort ban, but yep, they're taking out the whole bot lane. I was gonna say I don't know if you ban out the whole thing or just break up the duo, because now TGM, as they're gonna grab the Morgana, have some really great priority picks that they can take here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They do respect ban the bot lane though from the last game, so I think that's at least a good place to start. They do concede the Morgana, which is going to give TGM pretty much control of the bot lane in almost every matchup, especially considering they themselves banned one of the counter picks out to Morgana, which is the Karma. Like, Lulu can do okay, but Lulu's still a very suspect support.
Yeah, I mean, I always used to look at Sivir that the C10 just picked up, and I was always like, hey, Sivir's a Morgana counter. You just spell shield the Q, right? No, doesn't work like that. I learned getting my butt kicked very, very hard, and from PK in Risen, that Morgana can just throw a W down under you and break your spell shield as the Q is flying. You don't get that luxury as Sivir, so that's going to be a very dirty lane for
Hold up.
Cog.
Are we gonna see a Juggernaut comp coming in from TGM?
Oh man. Get down, Mr. President comp inbound. I mean, Kog'Maw's win rate is rising, and he's in a pretty good position right now.
Because, Cog is a very strong pick into Sivir because, the thing that is the biggest crux I see for people trying to play Kog'Maw is it does require a very good synergy with support, because as Kog'Maw, you can only trade during the time where your Bioarcane Barrage is up. And by being in comps, you're able to coordinate that, and you're always outraging Sivir as long as your W is up.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I foresee C10 to have a very difficult time in the bot lane here, but maybe not losing their whole... Because, Lulu...
Sivir has very clear.
I was going to say, Lulu throwing picks onto the Sivir with Ricochet,
the Bouncing Blade, you're looking at a lot better of a wave clear and a lot more opportunity to at least push back this time. But in terms of kill potential, I foresee them having exactly none. As TGM does take out the Kled and C10 takes out the Sylas, I've always been in the camp where I agree with Cloud9's coach Reaper, where he said that if you're banning out everything the team played the last game, that I don't think you're adapting.
Yeah.
If you're
reacting.
Yes, exactly. And to be a great team, you really need to be proactive instead of reactive. So I'm not sure how I feel about banning out 3/5 of their last comp.
Yeah, because it wasn't a compositional issue as it was just a execution difference between the two teams. Just on every level, TGM was out executing the side of C10, as we're gonna see a Darius pick coming in.
Wait, did you say Darius?
That was intentional pronunciation and mess up.
Okay.
It was intentional.
Okay, so okay. It's Darius instead of Aatrox now that Aatrox is there.
I only call him if he actually gets picked for the first time, and then I just call him Darius after that. It's just personal quirk, but they're assuming that Maokai is going top lane, but Maokai can still be a relatively decent jungler.
Yeah, that's I'm still actually trying to recover from the Darius. I feel actually I feel physically and violently ill. I'm actually sort of trying to recant and retort and get myself back to being a human again. As we are going to see a Veigar locked in from TGM. Veigar, very good in 919. With a standard Veigar build and, endgame level of around 16, there's only about a 5-second window where his cage is not going to be up now, which is obscene with how much damage he does and how much area denial he provides. I mean, this is very much a get down, Mr. President comp, protecting the Kog'Maw in this game. So they're putting it all on Solberg, betting on him to hard carry the game. But you know what? If not, they have the Akali as a backup. They have the Veigar as a backup. Akali can play really great bait with the Shroud. I really like TGM's comp here. C10 has some, like, I feel like if C10 can get a full, true front to back here, that they can do pretty well. I feel like TGM went in with a more organized plan for their draft again here, whereas, like we mentioned, that C10 was sort of reacting.
Well, the thing is like you're saying a front-to-back team fight, but there is no situation where C10 can threaten Kog'Maw Veigar without flanks, because Maokai Ultimate is a thing that does exist that you have to respect. Oh, you want to run at me in a straight line? I just have Maokai Ultimate, or Morgana Binding, or Event Horizon. Like, I think they have to play flanks and play around the Corki package timing to even have some semblance of a chance of killing, as you refer to him as Mr. President, in the Kog'Maw.
So, I mean, C10's game plan here, obviously, if you're playing the Lee Sin, you have to be aggressive early. Like, I mean, it's not a question. You need to be ganking lanes level 2. You need to be all over the place. You basically need to be doing what Bodkill did in game 1. Because if you don't secure that early game, the only late game threat that C10 really has is the Corki Sivir. But TGM has so much area denial and so much pick and so much, you know, like we said, get down, that it's going to be really difficult for C10 to utilize those late game threats that they have.
Yeah, especially because Corki, what does Corki do if he's stuck in the Event Horizon? If he does not have Flash, he dies.
Yeah, I mean,
at least has Spell Shield to walk through it once.
And Corki's gonna have a hard time. You know, you think about those the big boy plays where you're like using package to get in and stuff, and Valkyrie to get back out. But that's pretty difficult when Veigar's right there, just saying, "Nah, man, you stay right here."
You don't get to run away.
Yeah, exactly. And then they just argue with each other because they're both Yordles, and then Veigar one-shots him because he's a Yordle. And somebody made a short joke. But yeah, draft discuss. We're going to have a bit of a delay.
I mean, I was going to go along the lines of, oh, did Riot implement something where Veigar does bonus damage to Yordles or something?
Well, no, he just sees somebody else that's short, and then he feels his own inadequacies, and then just goes ham. I want to see Veigar's face. I would actually have like a permanent poggers on my own face if I could see Veigar's face like one time.
So if Riot made a new skin for Veigar and it was unmasked Veigar,
oh my god, I bet he's really cute. Like, what if he looks like Teemo or something? Or what if he has a beard? Oh man, what if he has like a really gnarly beard? What if he's super cute with a beard? Like, oh no, he's hot.
No, I feel like Veigar would be one of those people where he would have like that very fancy, like super trim beard.
Yeah, you're right.
Where it's just along your jawline, and then you have like the goatee going on. Like, yeah, that's kind of what I feel like Veigar would have.
You're saying he's svelte, that word that nobody ever gets to use.
It is a wonderful and glorious word, just like plethora.
Yeah, I mean, there is a plethora of applications, though. However, we're going to have a bit of a delay here, and we will be back with Game 2.
Oh, we are taking a break, guys, here. We will see you in just a few minutes. And welcome back, everyone, to game number 2 between TGM and C10. We saw TGM take a very dominant performance in game number 1, but they're definitely pulling out a little bit of spice here in game number 2 with the aptly named Protect Mr. President composition coming in. Can C10 respond here? I gotta ask, Tame, what are your thoughts?
The Lee Sin is huge in this game. If Hector can actually be around and set them up for a successful early game, I feel like all of their plans sort of hinge on that. You absolutely need to get, the early ganks, the first blood, the Sivir pushing back. But, Sivir with picks thrown on her is no joke. The ricochet, the bouncing blade.
Oh, Sivir is one of the highest DPS AD carries of the game. Like, in like a straight 5v5 team fight, it's absolutely disgusting the amount of damage she can do.
And it's not really a high skill threshold. You can kind of throw your Q on people and then just W, and as long as you can land an auto attack or two, you're usually pretty safe. So you're seeing the Maokai here. Look at this, setting up excellently there. I haven't seen a Maokai jungle in a long time. I just haven't seen Maokai in a long time, to be honest.
I mean, it's a fantastic champion for the composition they're looking at running because, okay, the enemy team's wanting to has shown a propensity to play run at us compositions. Maokai does fantastic into that because he's always going to be in a position to disengage that with Nature's Grasp. He's a wonderful tank that's incredibly difficult to kill because of all of his innate sustain that he gets from his passive.
And it's like, the top lane matchup to me feels like it's going to be very volatile. Like, Akali obviously is that, in-your-face assassin, but if Darius can like, snag the Akali, that's got to be feeling ugly for her, right?
Yeah, because I could totally see Darius just pulling Akali into the middle of a shroud in a trade, and then just dunking her for her whole health bar, and you just cry as Akali.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if he lands like a decimate, that's nasty. So I think top lane is one of the ways that C10 can win. To me, though, TGM putting Akali there into that match, like, they have to be feeling pretty confident to pick Akali top in what, her like 5th nerf patch in a row. She finally got some of her R damage restored in this one.
I mean, Akali is still a very skill expression reliant champion as Jackie Chan is going to get aggressed on Flash being forced out of Potato Ari on the other side. His Hector is off by himself, misses the Q to get over the wall, and it's going to be first blood going over to Jackie Chan. The bot kill's eating so much damage on the backside though. Oh, but the Flash Rush advance is going to come in for the trade kill. Going back onto Potato Ari. Red buff auto attacks are coming in, but so much mini damage with Jackie Chan.
Oh my god!
The tree starts the game with 2 kills.
Christmas came early because that tree is big and beefy. It's got all the ornaments hanging on it already. Gonna be, slinging some items off of it. Impressive look here out of Jackie Chan this early on the Maokai. Say it isn't so. Sorry for doubting you, man.
Oh, but he is gonna be able to secure the Scuttle Crab, but Dragon AK-47 is rotating down. Nice Event Horizon, though, is going to get the kill as it's a 3-0 Maokai. Kill has no flash, though. Is going to eat a lot of damage from Potato Ari. Shuriken Flip coming in from Peach Fuzz onto Dragon. So much damage is going to come in. 3 stacks of passive. Can he get the passive proc? Is going to be able to do it, but no. Twisted advance.
Oh my god!
Jackie Chan, the tree! The tree is on fire!
Can't stop him! Oh! And he had to use Valkyrie to get away. What has happened? It's literally... We have a Kog'Maw down there rocking the reindeer skin, and Maokai's just adorning himself with ornaments, and by ornaments I mean items! He's already got a 400 gold bounty at 4 minutes and 48 seconds. What a monster!
So Flash being forward at the bot lane, we do have Hector is coming in for a gank down in the bottom line, but Aruna is going to land a lot of damage going down onto Death Hole. He has no mana, Silver trying to do what he can, trying to keep him alive, but the tree is here!
He's here!
the slow's going to land as long as the blinding into the twisted advance, and Silbert finally gets onto the board, joining the tree.
Jackie Chan is a merciful god. He allowed Silbert to have that kill. What is happening? This is not what Maokai's meant to do, but it's exactly what he is doing.
So on an entirely unrelated note, when you were talking about ornaments hanging off of Maokai, it made me think of a great Snow Day skin that Riot should totally do this year, which is Santa Orn.
Where he has like the Christmas train is his, yeah.
And he just, and his little pillar
oh my goodness.
Solo kill up in that top lane here. As you said, that top lane matchup could be volatile and definitely looking that way so far.
Oh, Corky's stuck in the event horizon here. Just gonna take a little bit of a.
But yeah, the Orn ulti would be a giant choo-choo train, and his little pillar would just be a little gift box that pops up.
I like do and don't miss Orn. I feel like when he's meta, he's in like every single game.
Yes.
But like in pro play, his ult and the engages around it are so fun to watch. Like the way that
flash and the engage, but Peach Fuzz does have the perfect execution. He's trying to try to get enough damage. Ghost is going to come in. It's going to use the second half of the ult anyway, but the Ghost is going to get enough, but no, not quite enough to on that Darius.
Man,
I just want to say, Jackie Chan had a completed Cinderhulk at like 5 minutes, by the way, guys.
I mean, yeah, we're looking at an almost 4K gold deficit at 7 minutes. As we're even looking at a Veigar who's not expected to farm that well that early. Veigar already having 64 stacks, which is the equivalent of about 1,100 gold in AP, and a 13 CS lead in the mid lane to top everything else off. And you know, the Akali, who you're not expecting to really power farm this early, is actually up on the Darius as well and has the solo kill advantage.
And we're going to see the Drake going over to the side of TGM as TGM is just completely dominating. But that double burst from the Boomerang Blade doing so much of Unforgiven trying to rock it out is not going to be able to do it as Deathly saves his AD carry with that Binding and Tormented Soil.
And Solbert, they're great auto spacing and sidestepping, right? Just not making it easier for the Sivir to keep the target on there. I'm not sure about the Ignite on the Corki in the mid lane.
I think it was just because it was
just a dumper for the spellbook, yeah.
Oh, I don't know about
Tree Man! He's here!
You know what I always think is really funny is whenever Maokai buys Sunfire Cape, he's a tree that's on fire, but he's not burning. You know, I just...
Did you ever think about, like, when Shen buys it? Because he's like a man in cloth that's on fire, and he's not burning? Like, I don't know. I think it would be equally painful to be a man on fire as it would be to be a tree on fire.
And you know it's a horrible state of events when the Maokai is invading the Lee Sin and just stealing things from him.
Hey, he's got a 450 gold bounty and a 3-camp lead here at only 8 minutes on a slow clear jungler. So
it's not a happy joy.
No, I'm thinking here. You don't usually think about how can a team get back into a game at 8 minutes. And, oh my goodness, package being basically wasted.
Akio is rotating in. Nice double event horizon. Can he get range for the Premade boost? Yes, he can with the flash. As that's a juicy, I believe it's 10 HP, 10 AP, 10 stacks, excuse me, on takedowns for that Veigar. And I think we should start a pool on how much AP this Veigar is going to end the game with. I'm thinking like 850 to 900. That's my number I'm going to go with.
I'm saying 560 because I don't think that C10 is going to last long enough for him to stack it.
Well, I think he's just going to go like Death Cap second item. So.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, he is already at 93 stacks. Oh, this is bad for Lee Sin here.
Oh, he does get the kickback in the tower by the tree! The tree! Free! The tree is free and awesome.
He heard the Amazon was burning and he wanted in on it!
Yeah, he wants to make sure the Amazon isn't the only thing that is burning. He wants to make sure C10 is joining that. Not to make light of that situation for you, those tree people in the tag. It's not actually good. But, you know, we're here
Save the
having
trees.
fun.
Save the trees.
Yeah, we gotta save the trees. But, you know, we're here having a good time. It's unlike the side of C10, which are essentially at an 8,000 gold disadvantage here at this stage of the game, and that is not the type of place you want to be in.
No, I mean, this feels like a G2 type game with the way they just explode from 8 minutes to 15 minutes. Like, I mean, there's almost a 50 CS difference in the bot lane at 10. We're talking 9 CS a minute down to 4 CS a minute. We're talking like average Diamond 4 farm to like a Bronze 2 farm difference.
And this tower is gonna fall probably within a wave. Oh, Flash Soul Shackles is gonna come in, forcing the Flash heal and ultimate out of the side of Spanish Teacher, and that is definitely not a happy place to be in for this Sivir, who really needs to get her BF sword before she's really able to combat anything. And with the Lee Sin being so far behind, they haven't been able to do really anything to dissuade this push in this bot lane, and this tower is gonna fall on this wave.
I mean, and if I were them, I don't even know if I'd be contesting. I'd be more concerned with piecing out, even with the Lee Sin. We're talking.
Stunt is gonna come in. The Q does miss. He is gonna safeguard over. Does not have flash. I think without flash, that play doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work at all. Oh dear, Potato Ari may just be dead here. Yep. Oof. Bodkill with now 133 stacks, 248 ability power on this Veigar, trying to keep up and down.
Ended that. Oh, Peach was going for an aggressive trade up with the top lane. He's gonna use the Cutlass, uses the perfect execution, needs one more Q. Can he get in range? No!
Here comes the tree.
The tree decided someone else needs to get recycled today.
I feel like we need the Unreal Tournament announcer in this game for this one right here. Not sure if anybody's familiar with that one, but the one where he's like, dominating! It's not as
I agree.
unique announcer. As Solbert will take down Hector there in the bot lane. We are talking an 11 kill deficit, a Mountain Drake advantage. We are talking 11,000 gold at 13. I mean, if you're talking 11,000 gold at 30 minutes, you're talking a massive, massive advantage. But I mean,
it's 1K advantage per minute, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, chop down that tree and call me Sally. This is obscene. As we are seeing, oh my goodness, we didn't even notice that Malachi picked up the Herald at one point or another.
Oh, I heard it go down, but we were fighting at the time, so I didn't comment on it.
I mean, he's just gonna walk over, take this ocean, and I honestly think you look at the Malachi here with. Is he going stone plate or was he going second item there?
I'm assuming he's going stone plate. He just picked the ruby crystal up because that's what he had a gold wise.
So I mean, he has great resistances and he's naturally tanky with the Cinder Hulk 6-0. He could probably honestly 2v1 like anybody on their team at this point. Maybe not the Darius.
Yeah, because the Darius gets 5 stacks, like. Like, if the Darius gets 5 stacks, it doesn't matter how tanky you are.
We're gonna go back and check on the Veigarism. He's actually at 145 stacks right now, 328 AP. In the last 2 minutes, the dude has gained 60 AP. And he went for the Proto Belt second item, I guess just for positional advantages. I guess you actually could Proto Belt an Event Horizon or just Proto Belt yourself away. Or you can use it as part of your burst. It's actually a pretty versatile item for Veigar, just not one you see all the time. Oh, it looks like maybe
they do get the pull onto Peach Fuzz, is going to use the Circuit Flip and the Shroud to buy a little bit of time, trying to do damage back because I think he wants to try to buy time for his ultimate. It's almost off cooldown. He is going to be... Can he get it off? Oh, no, he cannot, but he does secure the trade kill. Oh! The tree! He's going to get the slow. The Event Horizon. bot kills, adding to his body count for this series. Wild Growth is going to come in, keeping him alive as Soulborn is taking tower, but he just doesn't care. Is going to die, giving over the third kill of the game to C10, but...
What they call it? When Jackie goes to the top lane for the third time, destroys the top lane and takes the tower. I believe that's called a tree-peat. I'll see myself out. I'll be back next week.
So I just got a call from
The police?
From the police, and we're not allowed to show any more of this game because it has been deemed unsafe for children to watch.
Oof. Oof.
Because I hate to say it, but this game is essentially a massacre on every level.
It's fun to cast, though. I mean, I've never been so hyped for a Maokai before. As he goes back in, oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god! Like, someone told us by the emergency medical services, Maokai just helped a Lee Sin in 1 QW. What is happening?
Yeah, I think that Serrated Dirk was not the right call, Chachi.
Oh,
He's going to try to go in. One more auto should kill him as the shutdown is going to come in, but we're knocking on inhibitors. It's not even 17 minutes left in the game. Spanish Teacher trying to whimsy himself away, but only thing he is whimsying is the hearts and souls of those in Twitch chat.
One kill is 1v4ing as Vagar.
Oh, but the tree! The tree does not care. As they're stalking on the inhibitor towers, they have the TP coming in from Peach Fuzz. They're trying to end this game pre-20 minutes, and
They build base out of wood! Only tree base!
All your base belong to tree in this game.
By the way, just gonna say, I was closer to being right on the Vagar. He's gonna end this one at about 450 AP. Yeah,
well, I wasn't expecting an 18-minute game. In my defense, I thought we were gonna get at least.
Yeah, it looks like the game can't even process what's happening. We actually just, all of the casters and the streamer, we just like hard locked. I can only assume that this game is over.
The tree has been confirmed to be too powerful and has broken the League client.
His roots have actually grown into the server. He's that big.
Oh boy, but TGM with one of the most convincing victories I've ever seen in a best of 3. I am out of adjectives to describe what we have just witnessed, but you are more than welcome to attempt to.
Me am big tree. Me win game. So yeah, I mean, TGM is looking convincing here, moving to 4-0 in their division against C10, who will drop to 0-4. But you know what? The big ups to C10 for showing up and giving it their all. I actually love to see when teams continue to show up and continue to play. So I hope you guys do, keep it together, chin up, show up for your next 2 games, put out your best, take a couple wins. 2-4 is better than an 0-6 finish.
Hey, I just completed a league that I coached in another amateur league, and there was a team that their only wins were due to enemy team having smurfing, but they still showed up every week. They still showed up to play, and I gave them all the credit in the world for it, because more often than not in these situations, you will see teams be like, throw their arms up in the immortal Peter Gryphon movie theater and just be like, done, and just walk out.
No, it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that both these teams did show up today. So thank you to both teams, and thank you to Joe, who was sick today and still showed up to stream for us. I haven't been feeling my best either, but the amount of fun that I've had has outweighed the sickness that I feel.
You almost forgot you were sick.
Yes, exactly. So thank you for joining me today as well.
Not a problem. Hope you guys in Twitch chat enjoyed our stream today. We will be back later this week for more Risen action. You guys stay tuned and have a great rest of your Sunday.